Figure it out.
All right, everybody. We are officially in a new league year. The free agency window, it opened up today. And needless to say, a lot went down. Not exactly in Miami, but in other places. Zeke claims he just had a mental breakdown about 20 minutes ago. Expand on that. Why did that happen?
Because here's the goddamn thing. And here's what I'm getting real sick and tired of. Chris Greer, him and Mike McDaniel at the combine, we're going to be aggressive pursuing offensive line this year, even though, the last couple years, we're not worried about it as they strut Liam Eichenberg out there to play guard, who's arguably the worst offensive lineman I've ever seen in my goddamn life. So what do they do today in the market? Now, mind you, the guard market is going 19, 20 million per guard. I don't want to pay that for any of these guards either. They're not that good. The Packers overpaid for Aaron Banks today. Whatever. But regardless, do something to help. You've done nothing. You've done absolutely zero. You said you've been interested in Dre Greenlaw at linebacker, but yet you let him go to Denver for $11.7 a year. You telling me you can't afford that? I mean, what's the plan? We're wasting guys' careers here. I'm getting old. Brian, we're about to reach a quarter of a century without a playoff win. Forget a Super Bowl, because that's never happening. I just want one playoff win, and I can't get one. What are you going to do? Are you going to be aggressive, or are you just going to bargain shop and say, well, whatever happens, happens? And I saw some jackass on Twitter just say a couple minutes ago, well, guys, it's a win-win for the Dolphins this year. We're either going to win a playoff game, and it's a success, or next year is a total rebuild. It's a win-win. I said, how the hell is that a win-win?
It's not a win. It's not a win. We haven't won a playoff game since 2000. I mean, it's not that is the win. A playoff win is a win. Actively striving towards a playoff win and making strategic decisions to get there. That's the win, not Zach Wilson.
Yeah. They paid $6 million fully guaranteed to Zach Wilson. They said, we need a backup quarterback. Okay, you look on the market, and the best solution you have, you could have got Josh Dobbs, who got $8 million, $4 million per year, 2-year deal in New England. You could have had that. Better upside, but no, let's just give Zach Wilson $6 million flat. Here you go, pal. I mean, go fuck yourself. I'm sorry. At what point does this man lose his job?
Yeah, the Chris Greer thing. I know that's been cooking with you.
Like, what are we like? The NFL is a result-based business. Guess what results you're getting? Awful ones. So, at what point, as an owner, do you say, "Man, I should probably jump in and do something here," instead of let the boat sink? But no. We're whatever. Dude, last season was the most depressed I've ever been as a Dolphin fan. I've not, even when we were 0-7 at the beginning of the rebuild, I had more hope than I have right now.
Because you're building something.
I swear to God, I felt so miserable and so down this last year. Every Sunday when it was time to play, get out of bed, I'd throw the jersey on. All right, let's do it.
I was there. I was there for one of them, right?
Yep. No enthusiasm. How can you? When all these fucking people do in Miami is kick me in the balls.
The losing out on Dre Greenlaw thing. I know that they're in a bidding war with Denver, but I'm like, if there's I was talking about with my friends in the office today. I'm like, if there's any team out there that needs to lay all of their chips on the table for a linebacker, it's the Miami Dolphins.
Jordan Brooks they got for a steal last year, and he had a phenomenal year for us last year. But I want to pair him with somebody. You pair him with Greenlaw, that would have been great.
Yeah.
But no, we're not going to pay the $11.7 million that Denver gave him, because that's a steep price, I guess, for Mr. Ross, who wants to pay checks to almost anybody. I don't know. I don't.
I'm not gonna lie. When I was riding home, I looked at Luke and I was like, "We're getting an angry Zeke tonight."
Yeah.
After that whole thing happened with Dre Greenlaw and then Zach Wilson's the only thing they did. I was like, "We're gonna get a fiery Zeke. Like it's inevitable."
I'm not saying you need to go make multiple big splashes. You don't need to do that, but make some significant progress. I don't see where they're going with the build of this team. It hasn't worked, and it's not going to continue to work in the direction it's going. They say we're going to focus on the offensive line. Really? Well, the market's drying up. Armstead's probably going to retire, and even if he comes back, it'll be his last year. But he's probably going to retire based off what his, the restructure of his contract and all that. What move? They haven't made no moves yet. Now, granted, it's the first day, it's the tampering period, whatever. It's a long time for the season kicks off. But I need some urgency. I see no urgency. I see no plan. There's no vision. There's no vision. How am I as a fan supposed to buy into that?
No, like the Dolphins definitely see they feel stuck now. Like there's you look at a team like the Patriots who we're going to address here in a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were 4-13 last year, but there's a clear vision. Like they're rebuilding. They had a shit ton of cap room, and they used it to start spending. They brought in a head coach who I think will be fantastic for the culture. Miami right now, they have none of it. They haven't been aggressive today, and I don't think I'm becoming less and less of a Mike McDaniel guy.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would much rather have somebody like Mike Vrabel in there. Like I think that he's just got better command over players. Like Mike McDaniel, I look at him. He's a guy like, yeah, I like him. Like, could I represent with this guy? Like, could I drink some Coronas with this guy? Yeah. But like, you get something like Mike Vrabel out there. Like that's a leader of men. Like, I like there's certain guys like you don't even have to show me. You don't even have to give me an internal view of what October, November are going to look like. I already know that Patriots team is going to play significantly different than they did last year. Like, you don't even have to spoil the story. I already know it's coming. I already know it's coming from Miami this year. Like there's some teams where like it's not rocket science. What's going to happen is what's going to happen. New England is strategically planning for what's to come, and a spot where Miami's at right now, if you're a fan of a team, that's the worst possible place you could possibly be at. But we're gonna pivot here and talk about the latest and greatest signings today, because there were a lot of them. I kind of want to go team by team here. I want to start with there. To me, I looked at it like there were two teams today that clearly separate themselves from the pack, and I'm not entirely surprised by it just because of how much money they had to spend and because of who they have steering the boat now.
Mm-hmm.
New England Patriots and the Chicago Bears. Two coaches, Mike Vrabel, Ben Johnson. I know that there are two guys, the minute they walk in the organization, there's a paradigm shift.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to operate. They're going to move differently. There's just going to be a different vibe in the building. I mean, I know you played high school ball, right? But like, you can tell there's different leadership in a building.
Right.
People are going to think differently. They're going to operate differently. They're going to prepare differently. The organization's going to be more aggressive. And that's what happens when you get a Mike Vrabel or a Ben Johnson come in. Complacency is not going to stand. The only way is forward. And they're going to do what they need to do to assemble a successful team and use the resources they have. And both teams had a lot of them at their disposal. So, let's start with New England here. They kept Austin Hooper. That's great and all. But doesn't surprise me at all. They really beefed up the defensive side of the ball. Milton Williams from Philly, 4 years, $104 million. Carlton Davis from Detroit, 3 years, $60 million. Harold Landry, I love that deal. Robert Spillane, I've been a huge fan of him ever since he was in Pittsburgh. They added Morgan Moses too, and your boy Matt Collins. And so they went on a spending spree today.
Well, yeah, and it's one of those things like what else are you gonna do with the cap situation? You have that much cap, you're just gonna look at it. Like,
yeah.
especially the first day of free agency, there's going to be plenty of guys that get overpaid that are going to get more than they realistically should. That is what free agency is. It just is what it is, you know. And for New England, Harold Landry did not shock me at all because, you know, he's already going to know the defense. He balled out for Vrabel in Tennessee. He, you know, other than his ACL injury he had a couple years ago, consistent pressure guy. Milton Williams, who actually Vic Fangio tried to trade for when he was in Miami. He tried to convince Miami to do it. They wouldn't do it. He got paid, and I'm not saying he's not deserving. You know, I'm happy for all the guys that got paid. Milton Williams is. We got to see a little bit more, but that's a lot of money. Also, fun fact: did you know that as of today, Milton Williams officially at $26 million a year is the highest paid per year Patriot ever?
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a team that knows how to not spend money.
Tom Brady's biggest per year was $25 million. Milton Williams is going to come in at $26 million.
Well, you think about it, that's just the difference in cap space now. I mean, the
100%.
way that CBA has been restructured, I mean, that's no surprise. Like even in the height of Tom Brady's career, the CBA, the salary cap, was never near what it is now. I mean, when you're looking at 279, like that's fucking insane. There's no other way for me to put it. So you're just going to see more and more just huge figures like that. It's just,
Oh, yeah.
It's going to continue to be outbidding this person, the highest position, the highest paid person at this position ever, highest paid person on this team ever, especially a team like New England, who is known not to spend a lot of money. I mean, it's really them in Cincinnati, right, who have probably been the cheapest teams in the NFL the past 20 years. The only difference is New England 6 Super Bowls, and since they but that's I'm in agreement, and I like Milton Williams. I thought he was very productive this year. You know, good pressure guy as well. But 104 million is a lot. That's a lot. The Carlton Davis deal, I like that one. He's been a consistent corner these past several years, and I think he's someone that automatically gives a facelift to that Patriots defense.
Well, them pairing him with Christian Gonzalez, I mean, we got to see that twice year. It's definitely, you know, defensively. Even when New England was bad offensively, their defense was always still solid at times.
Yeah.
But their offense just doesn't give them much. But now, you know, they'll probably get a receiver at some point that's not Mac Hollins. But, you know, I love Mac Hollins. I really do. It's just a running joke that we've had for years.
Oh, it is. No, we're just Mac Hollins for whatever reason. It's always been a joke.
So defensively, it's not going to be an easy 2 games for that division anymore. When you look at New England, it's not just like we can just kind of walk over them. It's not going to be like that anymore. So I'm a little mad about that. But
I think honestly, I think it's not only going to be you can't just walk over them. I think it's going to be this is going to be one of the fastest progressing teams in the NFL this year.
Yeah,
they're like we've had the past 2 years. We've had teams like this. Last year was the Redskins. The year before was the Texans. I think New England. I think New England and Chicago could very well be those 2 teams. I mean, all the ingredients are in place. Coaching's in place. The cultural shift is in place. The spending has been there. I do want to see New England go out and get like a high quality receiver. I think at this point that's inevitable. But if I was talking to one of my friends earlier who's a diehard Patriots fan, and you know he was like, "Man, I'm upset we didn't get Chris Godwin. You know, I'm upset we weren't able to get T. Higgins." I was like, "Well, you know, hold your horses. Number one, T. Higgins. I don't know what your thoughts are. I want to see where your mind is on this. T. Higgins. I don't think that story's done just yet. Yeah, the Bengals tagged him, but I think there could very well be a tag and trade because I don't think they're going to give him a huge extension. And at the end of the day, I think that's really what his agent wants. And they're going to test the market. I mean, franchise tag don't mean shit.
Right.
He's going to see what's out there. And if you're New England with that much money and you've got a second-year quarterback in Drake May, why not make an offer? I mean, why not just go for it? It's to me that's a no-brainer. And you know, the Rams are releasing Cooper Kupp. They're going to trade him. I think they make a push for him as well. It's not over. Yeah, they missed out on Chris Godwin. That sucks. I like Chris Godwin, but he also gets he's also an injury prone guy.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of these guys are like you talk about trading for potentially Brandon Ayuk coming off of an injury. Cooper Kupp's been hurt. Chris Godwin's been hurt. By the way, Chris Godwin left from what Schefter said, left $20 million on the table to stay in Tampa than to go to New England. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, that's insane. I would have thought that he would have wanted to stay in Tampa Bay because I still think they've got a good thing cooking. I know they were a first round exit last year, but I think they still have a good thing cooking. You know, that receiving core defensively. I mean, they're a stingy team. I like Tampa Bay a lot, but I'll be honest with you. I think that a big differentiating factor here was quarterback. I know I'm not in the minority on this one. I like Drake May, and I think that a lot of receivers, a lot of staffers, a lot of players. I think that's a general feel on him in the NFL right now. Is I think New England has something in Drake May. He showed glimmers of it a lot last year, and I like Baker Mayfield, but at this point, you know what he is. You know what you're going to get. Drake May is a wild card. And I think it's a wild card that could really pay off for somebody. And so
that's what shocks me at the fact that he took $20 million less to stay in Tampa than to go up to New England. Like, to me, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, coming off another injury, you've been injured upon the last couple of years. Go get that bag. Like, I don't. But as far as the receivers go for New England, like, you got to be smart with it, too. Because some of these receivers can be real divas. Like, don't get me wrong. DK is an athletic freak. The guy's a nut job.
Yeah.
Okay? An absolute nut job. And he's not worth what Pittsburgh gave him. $150 million for DK Metcalf, it's an overpay. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. No, it is. I mean, it adds an explosive element to Pittsburgh that wasn't there before. Then, like, I get what they're trying to do. That hasn't been there for a while.
Yeah.
So, I get they're trying to get a refresh going on that end. But at the same time, yeah, you're going to be dealing with a lot of different issues that you didn't really have before. And now you're pairing that with George Pickens. I mean,
yeah, that locker room's going to. And if they do end up with Aaron Rodgers, like it sounds like they could, let me tell you, that's a locker room, pal.
Wow. Could you imagine trying to mend all three of those personalities? I mean,
hey, if there's anybody to do it, Mike Tomlin is the guy. So
Mike T is a leader. Like you said, if there's anybody out there who can iron that all together, it's him.
Yep.
But my God, is that those are a lot of personalities, and there's a lot of money being invested into DK Metcalf right now. So God bless. I get it. I get the vision. I get what they're trying to do, but
good luck.
DK, and the thing last year too, you know, you got to keep in mind there was a dip in production out of him, and so you don't really know what you're going to get this year.
Yeah.
I mean, is he an athletic freak? Yeah, but he's getting into his higher 20s now, so you don't really know when the dip off is going to be. It's just it's a risk. It's a risk. And I don't even know. I mean, the feel that it gave me was that they're going to go with Russ as their quarterback. I mean, that was generally the feel that I got. But now I'm hearing the Rodgers thing, and that really confused the shit out of me. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
God bless.
Wow. That's a powerful sneeze. But we're going to keep rolling. We're going to talk about the Bears.
The
Bears. They did a lot. They were active.
You ain't kidding.
Let's talk about the trades they made. So really beefed up the offensive line, which You got a number 1 overall quarterback. You got to do that. Make sure that shit's as strong as possible.
Yep.
Jonah Jackson from the Rams. Joe Thuney from the Chiefs. I know those ones hurt you as well.
I would have just took one of them. We need both guards, yes, but I would have took one. They got both.
Good luck with Liam Eichenberg.
Luckily, he's a free agent, and I don't think he's coming back.
Hopefully, he signs with the Raiders, right? I mean,
shit. I hope he does. But no.
He would look great in silver and black.
Great idea for Chicago. You got to, yes, the quarterback needs weapons, but my God, he needs protection. So they did right by him there.
Yeah, that's that. And they invested. They're breaking the bank on that. And so, when you make an investment like that, you got to make other investments to protect it.
Speaking of that list that you're reading off of, look what else they did on the offensive line today.
Oh, I know. Drew Dahlman.
3 high-paid interior guys. It's unfreaking believable.
Yeah, man. I mean, Chicago had that money to spend. They had that money at their disposal, and damn it, they did it.
But keep going because it gets good.
Oh, it gets juicier. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have issues with this name. I even had the Quank try to read it for me today.
Good luck.
And he did the whole thing, where he goes, Dio Odi Yingbo. Dude, I just about lost it.
Hey, I give him credit for trying.
He took he took the glasses off and he's like, Dio Odi Yingbo. I'm like, you got it, Quank. That's it.
That's right.
Shout out Enzo Quanka, the legend.
Right.
Edge rusher there, of course. Huge pickup. Grady Jarrett. 3 years, $43.5 million. That's a slam dunk.
Not the player he once was.
Not the player once was, but it'll fit on that Chicago defensive line.
Still a disruptor.
Mm-hmm.
Will still do some damage. Got him at a solid price. Maybe a little more than they should have, but they had the money to spend, so I don't hate it. I mean, they were active. They've been making a lot of moves, and I think they should be another one that'll sniff around the receiver market, I'm sure, and get a guy, a veteran guy at a cheaper price. Especially once you get to months like June, right before training camp. A lot of these vets don't even want to be in training camp, so.
Oh yeah.
You get closer to the season, and you get veteran guys on minimum cheap deals, filling gaps where you need them, So, but the Bears, to me, the Bears so far have had the best start to free agency, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, like those are them in New England. I mean, obviously they've been the most aggressive. Like New England was mostly on the defensive side of the ball. I like it though. I mean they're trying to get physical. That's where it starts.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'd like to see him go out and get a receiver. But I'm with you so far. Chicago wins the day, and you know who else they got, right? Durham Smythe.
Oh yeah, that was a couple days ago.
Yeah. I know that one got you to the core too.
No, that's all right. It's all right.
Look, the one thing that I will say is I agree with Ron in the comment section over here. No one's going to sack Caleb this year. That line is beefed up, and they need it. You and I say it all the time. Success starts in the trenches.
Starts
in the trenches.
Look at how many times it has to be shown over and over and over again. Yes, you have your outliers like Joe Burrow when he went to the Super Bowl, that horrendous offensive line. That doesn't happen.
That's a fluke.
That doesn't happen. The trenches, you have to look at what Philadelphia just did to Kansas City. The way that defensive line was built, they manhandled them. Those 5 grown men got manhandled for 4 straight quarters.
Yeah.
Ruined the whole game. Blew up every chance Kansas City had to get in a rhythm. I mean,
Well,
Trench is where it's at.
just look what it did for the overall flow of the game.
Yep.
I mean, everything is clicking. You're getting Patrick Mahomes flustered. You're getting him running around. He has less time for receivers to get open. And so the whole offensive unit is just getting frazzled. Your offensive linemen are getting worked. And then what it did for Jalen Hurts, he could sit back there all day and just pick apart that defense.
Yep.
Now, his connection with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith was off the wall because he had time to breathe.
Yep.
You know, Caleb Williams was getting pressured a lot this year.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't for a first year. You know, I know there's a certain expectation of being a number one overall pick, but there were a lot of things game dynamic wise, game plan wise that did not go his way this year. And so I think the team has very much been beefed up. There's certain quarterbacks I understand that you could tell in the first year, like it's just not it. Like you could see after Zach Wilson 1 year, I don't really care what the Jets get. The guy doesn't have it. I don't feel that way about Caleb Williams. Like I think that the moves they made, the coaching they have now, I think this year will be a much different story.
Well, that's the thing. Ben Johnson's gonna get him some kind of rhythm. He's gonna do it, you know, the things that Caleb can do best. And so the combination actually having some protection, some legit coaching now, you know. Some people think when you're the number one pick, they think automatically you're supposed to just be Superman and fix everything. It doesn't work like that.
No,
it just doesn't.
You're still in your early 20s. Like it's a massive adjustment. And so other guys that step in and immediately succeed, but there's usually background factors in there as well. Like Patrick Mahomes had a full year to sit behind Alex Smith.
Right.
You know, Josh Allen didn't start immediately. Lamar, a lot of these guys don't start immediately. Like it is a lot to ask out of somebody. Patrick Mahomes, that is crazy that that mic'd up there that Ron mentioned in the comment section. He looked over and said, "We ain't winning this thing." Like the body language spoke volumes in that game.
Yep.
But we're gonna run down the list now. Now that we've gotten the Dolphins, of course, the Patriots and the Bears out of the way here. We're 27 minutes in. But let's start breaking this down team by team.
Right.
So the Arizona Cardinals, I think they had a good day today. I mean, getting Josh Sweat, I think at 76.4 is a little much, but I like the pressure they get. So I think Josh Sweat's a disruptor. So
the familiarity
I'm at that.
The familiarity he has with Gannon and the system, so that always obviously helps. It's an easy transition.
I think it's a good pairing, and you know they also signed Akeem Davis-Gaither 2 years, $11 million to splash. Then they were able to keep Aaron Browning, Joey Blunt, Aaron Brewer, and Evan Brown, and so it's just Arizona did their thing. You know, it was routine maintenance, I'd say.
Yeah, they're there.
They're there. They're living. They're breathing. The Falcons, they didn't do shit. They kept Jake Matthews and Liam McCullough. Yeah. I can tell you who they didn't sign this year. Kirk Cousins. Holy shit. That was one thing that I thought about today. I was like, man, last year at this time, free agency happened. I'll be transparent with you. I fucked up. I was on spring break. It was my last year in Alabama, but I missed this. I wanted to be doing this. And I'm sitting here on the beach. I was sitting on the beach, and I'm like, damn it. I want to be talking about this stuff. No, I'm sitting here debating all these people like, man, the Falcons really did it. Like, they got Kirk Cousins. One of them was a Falcons fan. He's like, man, like, we're poised to win the South this year. I'm like, okay.
I mean, is that really something to brag about? I mean, that division is.
But they didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And so, that was that. I was pissed I missed last year, and the Falcons were a lot more aggressive last year than they were this year.
Right.
The Ravens.
The
Ravens. They cooked.
Come on, go, G. Go.
The damn cat.
It's a cat. Yeah, I'm not a big cat guy, but yeah.
I'm not a big cat guy either. That's why We only have
So
dogs here. The legendary Drover and Kona, the 1-2 punch, if there ever was one. Yeah, the Ravens, man, they made a splash today. They kept Ronnie Stanley. Bang, there it is.
yeah. I don't know. The Ravens, it doesn't matter because you know why? When you have number 8 at quarterback, you're not winning it all anyway. So it doesn't damn matter.
Yeah, we're you and I align in that mentality. You and I definitely align in that mentality. I respect him. I think he's a great leader, but there's things need to go Baltimore's way for them to win playoff games. They need to have that 1 seed. They got to have Buffalo at home and not Kansas City. They need things to go their way. It's good keeping Ronnie Stanley, but I would have liked to see them throw their hat in the ring for a receiver. That probably would have been good.
Does it say by chance how much available cap Baltimore has? I don't even know how much cap they have.
I don't have that pulled up right now. Let me. Okay. Yeah, I have the phone on me right here, so I can find that answer for you in a jiffy. Don't get me wrong.
All right.
Baltimore Ravens cap space.
Who do we got next?
Next we've got Buffalo. Let me answer this question for you here.
Oh.
They got $10 million in cap right now, Baltimore. So not a lot to spend.
Right.
Buffalo. Josh Allen, my boy, deserved every penny. 6 years, $330 million.
Your boy?
Yeah, Josh Allen, the legend.
What?
Hey, I like Josh Allen.
I can't keep up with you.
I like Josh Allen.
For years, I can't keep up with you. You're so, you're just like your boy Colin Cowherd.
No, I'm not like Colin Cowherd.
You're wishy-washy.
Tell you, like USC's gonna run college football.
Wishy-washy. That's what you are. Yep. I said,
Josh. Look, I like to think that my viewpoints can be adaptable, and Josh Allen. There are things he did early in his career that I didn't love. I thought he was a little brash at first, but as time went on, I really found out he's a man of the people. So I got to get down with Josh. Also appreciate Ron Winarski. He is our latest sub. I appreciate that man for that. So caps off to you, Ron. Glad to have you on this ship here, baby.
That's right.
The Bills, they also kept Greg Rousseau.
Miami guy, yeah.
Yep, they were able to keep him. Khalil Shakir, 4 years, 60.2. Terrell Bernard, 4 years, 50. And the long snapper, Reed Ferguson, he's staying. And now they also, Dallas kept their Dallas signed a long snapper today too.
Wait. Don't forget, you're missing Josh's new weapon there.
Oh, yes, I can't forget. This is going to be what pushes them over the edge. Josh Palmer.
Now, don't get me wrong. I like Josh Palmer.
I do too.
He's a good receiver. He was good for the Chargers. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, he's a Bill now, so he can go to hell.
Yeah, I know. Once somebody puts that uniform on, they're on Zeke's shit list. It's a guarantee.
They're dead to me.
Yeah. That's how I feel about Tennessee, man. Once I see that orange,
it's beautiful. It's a beautiful orange. That orange.
That orange sucks. It's a gaudy orange, and you know it, pal.
So who's next after the desperate Bills?
Well, I just want to say too, they made a splash. They signed a defensive tackle, Michael Hott, 3 years, $24 million. So they're active, baby. This is an interesting one today. They made some moves, spent some money. The Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
J.C. Horn, 4 years, $100 million.
I love J.C. Horn. Don't get me wrong. He's a very good corner.
Yeah.
He's good at Carolina. But that's ridiculous.
$100 million.
Yeah.
Like, are you shitting me?
Highest paid corner in the league. Hell of a player, hell of a human, but
I love my guy. Look, I'm happy for him. I'm happy he gets to pocket all of that. Like, I'm very happy for J.C. Horn. But as far as the Panthers go from a strategic standpoint, Jumping Jesus.
Yeah, that's I don't. Yeah, no.
After that, they got to hold on to the thriller, Michael Jackson. 2 years, 14 and a half mil.
Yep.
Your boy Tommy Tremble, 2 years, 10 and a half.
Yep.
Bryce Young throws him a lot, so
Yep.
they kept the red rifle for $4 million a year, and center Austin Corbett, 1 year, $3 million. They signed. I found this out earlier. They signed Trevon Moehrig from Vegas, 3 years, $51 million.
I'm gonna say he got a nice little payday.
Yeah, I like to see that. I remember you and I talking about, but back in the day, I think it might have been my last year before I went to Alabama. The last year they watched the draft together. I believe 21 was the year that Moehrig got drafted. So I remember evaluating him with you.
No, I think it was 2020 because he's the same draft class as Javon Holland.
Yes, it was 2020. It was one of those 2 years. I remember both years we literally had like a damn war room where we were watching these, and man, there were some high moments and there were some low moments. There was celebrating and bottle popping, and there was throwing shit too. And so I saw Zeke in many states. The 21 was a lot better than 20. I will say that.
Yeah, 21. Yeah, you ain't kidding.
And 20, you got Austin Jackson instead of fucking who did you take him over again?
All the linemen at that point already went on a run. They were all gone.
Yeah,
they were a couple spots back. They could have traded up and gotten Tristan Wirfs, who was an all.
Yeah, you want Wirfs.
But no, we started for Austin Jackson. Had 3 first-round picks, right? Take Austin Jackson, and then with the last pick in the first round, Noah Igbenogany. Anyway, I can't do this. Who else we got?
Stud. Your boy Noah's a stud.
Sucks.
Patrick Jones, Tershawn Wharton, and Bobby Brown. So we got Bobby Brown and Michael Jackson on the same team, man.
That's right.
That is electric.
Wharton was a guy who was on my list for Miami. We need defensive tackle help. He got a nice little payday.
Yeah, I was happy to see it. It's very well earned. I mean, he's made a good impression these past couple of years. I'm happy to see him get that at payday in Carolina, and a lot of this was definitely on the defensive side of the ball for Carolina today, and so. I definitely do want to see them get a little more physical. I'm happy to see that they address that side of the ball, but Carolina's a team to me. I'm waiting to see them swing to the right direction. I think that they're there. I think they had some positive things late in the season last year, and so hopefully they can build off of that. I'd say Carolina had a mediocre day. I'd give them a B.
Yeah, well, they'll have enough room to still make some solid moves. I don't know if I told you this yet. I hope that they're halfway decent. Now, they were gritty in some of those games last year.
Yeah.
The Kansas City game. But I really hope so because I don't know if I told you, but I don't know when it is yet, obviously, but I am going to watch the Dolphins play the Panthers.
In Charlotte.
So the tickets are going to be like $40.
Come on.
So I'm hoping that, they're at least can do something.
Hey, we've got breaking news. We've got breaking news. I got to report this one.
Oh God!
Big news.
Am I going to be happy by this?
Maybe, maybe not.
Oh God! Go ahead.
The Bengals have re-signed Joseph Osai. 1 year, $7 million.
They're jackass.
I wanted to fuck around with you there.
Oh yeah, as if my day hasn't sucked enough.
You'll notice that the more we're around Zeke here, we like to gang up on Zeke and really when things are going bad, we like to make them even worse for Zeke.
That's lovely. Thanks.
And so that's just what it is.
So all right. Forget Carolina. Oh, by the way, before I say that other thing, so the fact that Carolina paid that safety and not the other safety from the same class, Mr. Javon Holland himself, says a little something as far as, somebody might have overvalued themselves.
Yeah, I mean, the
Just
market may be
saying.
starting to work against him.
Just saying.
He might have been better off where he was at.
But all right, who we got next?
The team we just addressed, Cincinnati Bengals.
Hmm.
We've got, retained T. Higgins, B.J. Hill. They gave a deal to today.
Yeah.
3 years, $33 million. Mike Gesicki they kept. Cody
Well,
Ford, Oren Burks, Tanner Hudson. They signed Tadarius Slayton, and Samaj P. Ryan has been reunited with his Bengals.
dear Lord. This
He's
sounds
back,
like I'm
baby.
shopping at Family Dollar right now. That's what it sounds like to me.
As they always do. I mean, do they ever shop anywhere else?
I'm going to say this, though. I think the fact that they're going to trade Trey Henderson, I think it's going to come down to one of those things where that move alone meant that T. Higgins is going nowhere. They will pay T. Higgins, and they're going to pay Jamar Chase. They're going to overspend on both receivers, right? They have no real corners, no pass rush. When Trey Hendricks is like, whoa.
And now Sam Hubbard's gone too.
Right, like they're going to hurt themselves ultimately. They're going to end up getting suckered into paying T. Higgins. They're going to keep both the receivers, and ultimately the team's going to hurt. Defense is going to continue to hurt, and the old line has always hurt. So,
yeah, nothing's new there. I mean, shit.
So since Cincinnati's, I don't know,
They're on thin ice, pal.
they better do something, because if you think that Joe Burrow is just going to stay in Cincinnati for the rest of his career just cause, that ain't going to happen.
No, I mean it's what order are we in? It's 2025 now. This gives me KD OKC vibes, to where he's going to stick this out as long as he possibly can. And it's just going to get to a point where you're like, man, this team spends no money. They do nothing on the defensive side of the ball. I had no protection my entire time here. I want to go compete for Super Bowl somewhere else. I can, because it's the same shit every year. They never do anything on this day. They never spend.
Cincinnati will not truly be a constant competitor for the Super Bowl. They won't.
I mean, Joe Burrow makes them, like, Joe Burrow will make them relevant every year. But it's just going to be, until they start legitimately spending on either side of the ball, it's just going to be a waste. And I hate to see it.
They're going to run them into the ground.
Yeah. Oh, you could see it coming from a mile away. Mm-hmm. And we've got the other Ohio team here, the Cleveland Browns.
Oh.
Man, they made some moves. Kenny Pickett, that's who we'll be watching in brown and orange this year. And Myles Garrett, of course, too, who don't even get me started.
Yeah, I'm mad at him just from the standpoint of the whole, it's not about the money, it's about winning. Bullshit. Money talks.
Yeah, now you're making $40 million a year. Because you're gonna win there now with that roster they have. You're gonna win now, buddy. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me take more money that you cannot spend elsewhere on the roster, and that'll be great.
That's smart. That's a real chess move right there, if there ever was one. Now we've got the Zeke's favorite team here. Go Cowboys!
They actually made a move today.
They did. Javonte Williams, holy shit!
That's my dog.
$1 year, $3 million, and it was for a position that they needed. I can't believe it.
That is true. I love Javonte, but he's another guy who can never stay on the field. But when he is on the field, he
will make a difference.
He's a good player.
He will make a difference. I mean, I would think about releasing Dowdle and drafting another running back to pair with Javonte. I think that's what they're going to do ultimately. And then, of course, they retained Osa, Marquise Bell, Trent Sig, and C.J. Goodwin. And so, that at least a little bit more this year out of Dallas than last year. That's
already. Yeah.
Already. I mean, it wasn't a high bar to clear, but damn it, they've already cleared it. Now this is the one I know you've been waiting for. It begins with a D. The Denver Broncos.
Two positions I would have loved in Miami. Safety, which we were in dire need of. Linebacker help. You need a number 2. Guess what they got?
Both.
Both of them. Dre Greenlaw and Hufanga.
The way you said it, and Hufanga.
It's like Sean Payton, kiss my ass.
Oh yeah, that's your buddy too. Zeke loves Sean Payton.
I hate Sean Payton. He cost us draft picks.
You remember how pissed off he was after y'all hung 70 on him?
Good, as we should, after he cost us draft picks. That son of a bitch.
Yeah, they also kept DJ Jones and Jared Stidham. Big move. And they got Matt Pert, the offensive tackle. So that's the all-encompassing view.
Denver also brought in Evan Ingram for a visit today at tight end.
Hey man, maybe he'll catch that Rocky Mountain high too.
Maybe.
It seems like people are starting to finally flock to the Rockies.
Yeah, Denver's a good team. Defensively, they were really good last year. A lot of pressures, a lot of sacks. Denver's a good situation. I think, offensively, Cortland Sutton's not enough. I like Cortland Sutton, but they gotta go get somebody else too.
Yeah, I want to see Bo Nix get a little more help there too. I mean, just building off of what he had this year. I mean, he had a fantastic rookie year.
Yeah,
it's all about momentum and capturing that momentum, which is why I want to see the Patriots go out and get a receiver too for Drake May. When you have a good rookie year like that, the Redskins went and did it. They went and got Debo. Is Debo my favorite right now? No, I mean, but it's a veteran presence. The guy who has experience. I like that for Jaden Daniels.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, guys are flocking to Denver right now. They're flocking to the Rockies. The Detroit Lions, little something. Marcus Davenport, they retained. The long snapper Morgan Cox, he's staying in the Motor City, baby.
That's right.
DJ Reed, I like that move. 3 years, $48 million. Yeah, go on.
No, I was just gonna say these as far as I'm concerned, he's burnt toast.
DJ Reed.
Yeah, my boy Jalen Waddle has torched him many times.
I mean, like my Waddle House shirt says, you can't cover and smother that.
That's right. And to be fair, Detroit the last second tried to keep Carlton Davis before he went to New England, but ultimately it didn't. Clearly, it didn't work. So DJ Reed was their next plan, and I don't blame him. I mean, you got to have somebody back there because they got real thin near the end of the year there.
Yeah, and so like I think Jesus Trover's having a fucking heyday out there. Now, granted, I love Terran Arnold. I got to see a jump year two. I know he's got it. I know he has potential. Like he's a rookie, but I got to see a jump in year two. But pairing him with DJ Reed, not terrible, not great, not terrible. Especially for the I thought that 16 mil was a little high.
Yeah, but you gotta have some kind of help back there.
Yeah, when somebody like Carlton walks out the door, you gotta have somebody come in.
Right.
Now the Green Bay Packers, the beast of the Midwest. Yeah. They signed Aaron Banks from San Fran and Nate Hobbs.
Yeah.
So what do you think about those?
That Banks contract, if I'm correct, it was 4 years, 77?
Yep, spot on.
Yeah. That's absurd. Aaron Banks is a good guard. None of the guards, hell, I think arguably probably the best guard is still on the market. Will Fries from the Colts.
Yeah.
He's coming off of a lower body injury, but he's young, he's a good run blocker, but Aaron Banks he's a good player. He's not that good of a player.
4 years, 77 mil, that's insane.
Like that's almost 20 a year. Like that's not that no. Christ. They Green Bay could have got it in the draft. Guards usually fall into the later part, go in the second round, third round for a guard. That's no. For a top guard, maybe. But not for just a good guard. No. I don't like that move.
No, that one I thought they very much overpaid. And now we're looking on here. The Houston Texans, they did a lot.
They had an interesting.
It was interesting. It was a mixed bag.
Yeah.
So it's traded for Christian Kirk, which,
Don't hate it.
Give or take, I don't hate it. They kept Ogumbawale and Derek Barnett, but they signed Tremont Smith, Sheldon Rankins, Daryl Taylor, and your boy Braxton Berrios.
Braxton Berrios coming off an ACL too, so I mean that was only a 1 year, $2 million, so that doesn't really.
Yeah, it's a rental.
Yeah, but I think for me, I think Houston suffered today. The fact that they gave up Laramie Tunsil, like that offensive line was already in shambles last year.
Yeah, the CJ's going to start to be running for his life.
Yeah, and now you get rid of your cornerstone left tackle. Like, now, mind you, I get it. Laramie's also aging, and you want to get ahead of it, which they did. They got some good picks back from Washington, but CJ is going to be struggling back there.
It was a huge issue this year. I mean, people are like, oh, his sophomore slump. I'm like, he was getting hit all the damn time.
Yep.
And now it just got worse. So
yeah,
I would give the Texans probably a C. What they did this year was not great, especially compared to last year's cycle.
Yeah, they're going a little bit in the wrong direction. Luckily, D'Amico Ryan's good enough coach where the defense will still be good, but that offensive line's worrisome.
Well, that and you've got Stephon Diggs coming off an injury. Who knows when Tank Dell's going to be back? Prayers up. Who knows when Tank Dell's going to be
back? Diggs is a free agent.
And Diggs is a free agent. So, I mean, ideally they keep him, but if they do, he's coming off an injury.
Yeah, no, they probably won't because of the fact they went out and got Christian Kirk. To me, that kind of
sealed the deal.
Yeah. So, and Tank Dell with that injury, that's going to be a long road to recovery.
Yeah, so. that one. It's not often I get jarred watching an injury happen live, but that one was hard to watch. I pray for that guy, man. That was. I don't know if he'll ever be the same. I hope he is, but that's when you fuck your knee up that bad. Jeez. Hope for quick recovery.
So Houston, good luck.
Now their division rival, the Colts, who, I mean,
I'll give them credit. They had a good day.
They had a good day. They were, what was it? It was definitely quality over quantity, like 2 signings today, but definitely quality over quantity. The Quank filled me in today. They signed a Filipino, Cameron Bynum. He's Filipino.
I didn't know he was Filipino.
He's like, dude, yeah, he's from the Philippines.
I didn't know it.
I was like, well, bang! Now he's a rich Filipino.
Yeah, hell yeah, he is. that one, and I tried my best to remember most of these all the time. I had 4 years, 60.
Yeah.
He was a really talented player in Minnesota. Still has upside.
Yeah, I like Cam Bynum. I think he's a solid safety. And then Travarius Ward, 3 years, $60 million. I thought that was a pretty good splash too, getting better in the secondary, which they very much needed because that was ailing last year.
Well, that's the thing. Indy's been hurting in the secondary for quite some time now. I'm not a big Ward fan personally, but at that point, I mean, it's definitely a significant upgrade compared to what they had. So
yeah, I mean, they're toast out there.
Yeah, so I like that they addressed 2 of their biggest needs that have been needs for a while. So I like that as far as that goes. But again, that's another team who they let Ryan Kelly, their center, walk out the door. He signed with the Vikings today. Will Fry, as the right guard, is still available. He's probably going to go somewhere else and get a good deal. Like their offensive line's going to, be weaker. But Indy's I don't know. I don't have much confidence in Indy.
I don't know what the vision is. Like they're one of those teams. There's a couple teams right now where I look at them and I'm like, what's the vision moving forward? Like them, not to pick on you, but the Dolphins. Yep. I don't really know what it is. Right. Seattle, I don't really know. The Jets, I don't really know what the vision is. Like there's just some teams out there where even Pittsburgh a little bit. I'm like, what's really going on? Like DK, this quarterback situation, like really, like what's going on here? So they
Yeah,
definitely they fit that bracket where I don't really know what's going on. Jacksonville, they did a laundry list of things. You want to talk quality?
yeah, they were all over the place.
Macari 3 years, 37 mil. Jordan Lewis 3 years, 30. De'Ami Brown,
Can
1
I say
year,
something
10.
about that? Can I say something
Yeah,
about that one?
yeah.
The fact that he got 1 year, 10 mil, fully guaranteed, and that Tutu Atwell got 10 million for a year is absolutely absurd because neither one of them are worth 10 million a year. I'm sorry. I'm just
I
saying.
mean, like De'Ami Brown, Grant, he had a good playoff run, and I think it's kind of like the NBA. Like you make a name for yourself in the playoff, kind of like a
Yeah.
Caleb Martin thing.
Yeah.
Like he's definitely one of those guys. But 10 million is nuts. Nick Mullins, come on.
Boy.
Robert Hainsey and Eric Murray. And so that's what we're looking at for Jacksonville. There's just the whole lot going on.
Yeah, I don't trust Jacksonville. I'm not a big Trevor Lawrence guy. And calling their new head coach, he's that guy's a weirdo. I don't like that guy.
Oh, I know you love Liam Cullen.
It's a weirdo.
Duval.
Like he just I don't know. He's giving me bad vibes.
And we got next we've got the defending AFC champions, Kansas City Chiefs. They franchise tag Trey Smith, signed Nick Bolton, 15 mil a year, Hollywood Brown, 1 year, 11 mil, which that's crazy. Jalen Moore, they signed 2 years, 30 million. Elijah Mitchell, 1 year, 3.5, and they tendered Matt Ariza.
Yeah, I'm still mad about that, by the way.
About what, Matt Ariza?
Yeah, god damn it. Trey Smith, they're gonna work a long-term deal out.
Yeah, I think they will.
You want to talk about the guard market already being messed up? When the details come out of that contract, it's gonna be because the tag alone, I'm pretty sure for guards is 23 mil this year.
Yeah.
So once they get the contract done, who knows what you could be talking? I mean, that money is gonna be insane. So
I mean, especially after what we saw today out of Banks. I mean,
yeah,
they broke the bank for Banks.
this guy.
Yeah, this is clever.
No, but I don't know. I don't know how Kansas City does some of the things they like. I don't know. I mean, you pay that, but you lose Thuney. Like, I don't know. It doesn't really matter because at the end of the day you have Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes, so you'll figure shit out. But it's a lot of money.
Yeah, that's they're gonna be dropping a bag on Trey Smith and the Vegas Raiders.
Oh.
What another interesting cycle for them. Geno Smith, which that one kind of came out of left field for me. I mean, I get it reuniting with Pete Carroll, but that one just came out of nowhere. Your boy Max Crosby, the highest paid edge rusher.
Until Myles Garrett got paid.
Until Myles Garrett got his, he had that title for a couple of days, and then Myles Garrett got his. Adam Butler and Malcolm Kunsey, and they also signed Jeremy Chin.
Yeah, I'm mad about that one too. Jeremy Chin's another guy I like from Miami as far as safeties go. Reasonably priced, good guy down in the box, athletic. He was good in Washington. I liked him in Carolina a couple years ago.
Well, looks like you guys took it on the chin.
Yes, that was a good pickup for him. Geno, I mean, listen, Geno Smith. Like, you know what you're getting. It's
yeah.
I think that the Raiders were just so tired of putting guys out there like Gardner Minshew and
Aiden O'Connell.
Like they're like just give us some mediocre play. Just give us some decent play, consistently decent play, and we'll figure out the rest. You know what I mean? You got Brock Bowers, stud. You know, I don't hate that move for the Raiders. I mean, obviously, long term, it's not going to bring you a Super Bowl. But
that's what I keep saying. People like that Geno's trash. I'm like, well, you think it's be your quarterback for the next 5 years? I mean, it's a bridge to another quarterback.
Right.
And outside of Cam Ward this year, I'm not particularly in love with anything out there. Right? Maybe Jackson Dart. I think it's got to be the right situation.
Right. And
But
even Cam Ward. Cam Ward's going to need the right coaching because he's got all the tools, but he needs to be able to figure out a way to put it all together.
oh yeah, I hear that siren.
Yeah, you would think I live in Kansas or something.
You would have loved this. I got woken up by tornado sirens last Tuesday at 4:45 in the morning.
Yeah, I don't think I would love any part of that, but God bless.
It was a hell of a thunderstorm too. I will say it for 5:15 a.m. That was a thunder boomer.
Yeah, no, I'm good on that.
There was rotation about 15 miles south of us.
I'm good on that.
That bitch is loud. All right, the Chargers. They kept Bradley Bozeman. Roll Tide.
Oh yeah. Okay.
They kept Khalil Mack. All the Chicago people are pissed because they want him to come back to the Windy City. And Tier Tart is staying.
That fat bastard. Tier Tart. He pissed me off last year.
Why did he piss you off?
Because Miami did. I don't want to get into the whole Miami thing, but he pissed me off.
And then Dante Jackson they signed.
Yeah, Khalil Mack. The fact that there's so many people that are like, man, I really wish Khalil Mack would have came back to the Raiders. Man, I wish Khalil Mack would have came back to the Bears. Like, people, get over it. Get over it.
We have more breaking news. The 49ers are cutting Kyle Juszczyk.
Yeah, okay.
You don't believe me?
Did they really? Dude. I love Alec Ingold, but let me tell you something. The things that I would do to have juice in Miami, oh boy.
I don't know what the Niners are another team. I don't know what direction they're heading in. But now
they're starting all over.
Hufunga, it's done.
Mark my words, George Kittle gets traded at some point. I'm not saying it happens before the season. Could happen during the season. He's on the last year of his deal. They're probably going to ship Brandon Ayuk out. They're scrapping everything. It's over. It's over. Greenlaw's gone. Hufunga's gone. Debo's now gone. Ayuk's going to be gone. Like, it's over. The window for the Niners is over.
It's over. They had it and it's gone.
Yep. Bye.
The Rams. I think the Rams did just enough. I think that they're the second best team in the NFC behind Philly.
They have a case. They definitely have a case. I think I'll be interested to see how the O-line does. But and the defense is young.
The defense is young. It's damn good. Then they got Ford today as well. I think it's
yeah.
I mean, is he like a whoa, holy shit? Like, no, it's not that kind of guy. But Puna Ford definitely gets pressure.
No, he had a good year last year.
He's a big dude. I love Puna Ford. And then Devontae Adams, of course. So it's just him paired with Puka is going to be something.
Yeah, you got two of them. Then you got Kyron in the backfield. You still got Tyler Higbee at tight end. And Stafford's one of those guys. Like, yeah, he's obviously old, but Matt Stafford can still bring you quality ball. You know,
it's scary. I think this team is scary. I'm not huge on Detroit this year after losing both coordinators. I still don't completely trust. I don't completely trust Washington yet because I think it's kind of a flash in the pan. But they made really good moves though, so I think them and the Rams hover right there at number 2. Leaps and bounds above.
You can tell already the difference in the ownership in the Washington Commanders.
Oh, it's massive. It's massive.
Night and day. It's. I'm not a big Dan Quinn guy. I think that ultimately he's going to hold them back. But they're doing a lot of right things, and they're finally. It seems that there's actually somebody in control of what's going on.
They're a contender.
Yeah,
there's no doubt about it. They're a contender. Will they go back to the NFC Championship this year? I'm not sure, but that I think they kind of got into the right spot this year and beat a vulnerable Detroit team.
And you got Daniels on that rookie contract. You know those. That's the time where you got to pounce.
This is it. Like these next 3 years, this 3-year window for the Commanders is huge.
Yep.
The next team, you've got the Miami Dolphins, who signed Zach Wilson. That's that.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I would have took Andy Dalton for the $4 million he got. Give me Andy Dalton. I don't.
Much more viable backup.
And everyone's like, "Well, Zach Wilson with the right coaching because he does have like a super strong arm." And yes, I'll give it to him. The Jets, obviously, I don't put everything in New York on him because that organization is just dysfunctional. There is talent there. How much? Who really knows? But like in the type of situation Miami's in, to pay $6 million fully guaranteed for a guy who might have to play, even though I love Tua based on the injury history, you never know, will have to go out there, and that's going to be your guy. I don't have any confidence in that.
Well, it's just a gut check. I mean, if like just compare it. Like if you've got Andy Dalton going out there, I feel okay. I'd much rather have Tua, but I feel like okay, we can win some games. Zach Wilson, I more feel like our season's cooked.
Right. You put an Andy Dalton, a Jimmy G. Jameis turns the ball over a lot, but I'm still taking him over Zach Wilson.
There's a locker room element to Jameis Winston too that Zach Wilson has never offered.
Right.
I mean, Zach Wilson proved it all to me with that quote that he had against the Jets. Like that guy, like that was selfish shit.
Yeah.
With not taking any accountability after that loss several years ago, like that was bad. You never see a guy like Jameis do that, and so Jameis maybe mistake prone, but there's a leadership element that you're getting there.
You have a little bit of hope. Zach Wilson, you don't got
glimmer,
shit.
Cleveland had a glimmer. The Vikings, they kept Aaron Jones, Ryan Kelly.
Yeah.
We did New England already. New Orleans. They traded for Devon Gotcha from the Patriots.
Old Dolphin. Yep.
That's your favorite New York Football Giants. They signed Paulson Adebo and
I like that signing.
That was a good deal from New Orleans and Roy Robertson Harris, and they kept Cutlets. They kept Darius Slayton, $12 million a year, and the punter Gillen.
Darius Slayton, I'm sorry, $12 million a year.
That's insane.
Kiss my ass. $12 million a year. Well, he's a good locker room guy. Listen. I don't care. You can do better than that. For $12 million,
slice that.
You can. Like that's ridiculous.
It's insane.
Now, the Paulson move, I will say, I like that one. He's a good man-to-man corner, physical, doesn't allow a lot of catches. He was good. He was good in New Orleans.
Yeah, he was locked down. He was effective.
$18 million a year is not bad. It's not bad.
I like that. When I saw that, I was like, I like that. I'll definitely beef up the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
This one's interesting. Justin Fields to the New York Jets. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, Zeke, we got breaking news. The Dolphins.
Stop.
They are going to sign. You want to guess who it is?
Oh, my God. No, because they're probably going to be pissed off.
Well, here it comes anyways. Veteran offensive lineman James Daniels to a 3-year, $24 million deal.
Wait, you said 3 years, 24?
Yeah, $8 million a year.
I can get down on that.
James Daniels.
James Daniels is a guy who Miami was rumored to like last year and trade, but he also got hurt last year. So he is a good player. I mean, my God, he's going to take Liam Eichenberg's spot. So you know what? It's a great day to be a Dolphin. Because anything is better than that piece of shit. I
Nobody
swear.
has caused Zeke more trauma in these past 3 years than Liam Eichenberg.
Yeah. And if I ever see Liam Eichenberg, I don't care that he's much bigger than me. And he'd probably kick my ass. I look him in the face and say, you know what, pal? You're not shit.
You're not shit to the game. I invented the game.
You played offensive line at Notre Dame. Have some respect for yourself.
And the Eagles, the Eagles signed Dorian Thompson-Robinson.
Yeah, that's
Back
okay.
up to replace Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh was interesting. Of course, the DK trade.
Can I just say this too though, real quick about Philly?
Yeah.
I've seen people on Twitter and on Facebook today, talking about how mad they are that Milton Williams is leaving and Slay is leaving. Now, mind you, that Slay transaction is not technically official yet because, yeah, he verbally agreed, but he hasn't technically fully been released by the Eagles yet. So it's probably going to happen, but it's not set completely.
Yeah, it's not technically completed yet.
Right. So, these Eagles fans are, what are the Eagles doing? This is ridiculous. And I'm like, you just won a Super Bowl. Those guys are gonna leave and go get money. That's it happens all the time. You got your ring.
That's what it takes to be the best. I mean, I mean, look, whether it's college or NFL, you're gonna get plucked when you're in the spotlight. I mean, it happens in the NBA all the time. And like I talked, like that Caleb Martin analogy I made happens all the time.
Yep.
Yeah, you see somebody showcase and AFC Championship, Super Bowl, bink, they're going next year. That's the circle of life. The Steelers.
Yep.
Yeah, Donald Parham.
Yep.
Ryan McCollum, Malik Harrison, and DK. So, I thought they made some pretty good moves. I'd probably give them right around a B. I thought they overpaid for DK, but I liked them getting Parham to pair with Freiermuth, little 2 tight end thing.
Yeah, no, I think the DK thing, yeah, they overpaid, but at the end of the day, they needed a true number one. George Pickens is not a number one. I'm sorry.
No.
They needed a true number one. Pittsburgh's always had a great history of receivers. And at the end of the day, you bring in DK. You're probably obviously going to bring in Darius Slay to go with Joey Porter Jr. Still got Minka back there. Still got TJ Watt. Like, the Steelers are in a spot, and obviously I'm not huge Aaron Rodgers guy, and obviously he's older now. But you give him that defense and a coach like Mike Tomlin, like, the Steelers are not going to be an easy win. They never are. No. Even when they had Russell Wilson, the defense is still going to come to play and they're going to get after you all game. So now you give Aaron Rodgers a solid O-line, real good defense, and a coach like Mike Tomlin. I mean, there's going to be some success there. So I like what Pittsburgh's doing.
Yeah, I think they're definitely trending in the right direction, and it's just all about closing that gap with Baltimore, and I think that, especially getting somebody like DK, I think that helps to do that.
Right now they're having a better offseason than Baltimore.
I mean, Baltimore has done damn nothing. So, we have breaking news of the Big Easy. The Saints are re-signing Chase Young to a 3-year, $51 million deal. Yikes!
Love Chase Young, but he gets hurt too much.
That's a lot. Yeah, you can't. He's not available enough to pay him something like that.
He is, to me, one of the hardest situations as far as he has so much athletic ability and could have been so much, and it just hasn't.
He feels like Zion Williamson.
Yeah.
Like when I was watching him in college at Ohio State, I was like, this guy is a monster.
Yeah.
But it's been the injury thing. Like it's the availability thing. When he's on the field, I mean, he cooks. He was good for New Orleans.
He's good. He hasn't given the production I think that people expected just based off draft value, but I mean,
his draft value is pretty damn lofty.
Right. So, when
you factor injuries in, you're not going to get that 2020 guy.
No, and the situation he got drafted into in Washington, like, Not a great situation either. So situations are everything.
They really. I mean, you see quarterbacks, linemen, defensive ends, any position. Situation, receivers. Who's throwing you the ball. I mean,
Yeah.
situations matter a lot. The Niners, man, what a splash. They kept Patrick Taylor and Luke Farrell. Goodbye. That's the day.
Yeah.
That's
Quick and
it.
easy.
That's really all we have to say about that. Like,
I guess they wanted to take a half day at the office today.
yeah, sunny day, San Francisco. Well, a little picnic lunch in the park. Fuck.
Yep.
The team up north, the team up I-5 from them, Seattle Seahawks. Sam Darnold. That's a no-go for me.
No, too
That's
much.
a no-go for me. I mean, there's no more DK. There's more Lockett. He's going to this JSN. It's just not good.
I
And
get. Go ahead.
no, go on.
No, I was just saying, clearly the idea is to restart, but Sam Darnold to be that guy and spend that much on Sam Darnold, like at that point you could have just kept Geno.
Yeah, I don't. That's what we were saying in the office today too. I'm like, this just felt like a lateral move.
Yeah,
And now you're paying more than you would have paid Geno.
100%.
Like I liked where Seattle was going because I was like, okay, like maybe they just keep Howell this year, just have one of those years where they suck, and then draft like an Arch Manning or something next year.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking they were going back to square one and building this thing, but now after that, that's clearly not the idea. If the amount that they paid Sam Darnold, so I don't know. I know they won 10 games last year. Oh, more breaking news.
What do we got?
It's official. The Chargers are signing Najee Harris.
Yeah, I saw.
I thought that was going to happen, but now it's official. Another Bama legend is on the move.
I'm happy for him. I remember the draft where he got drafted, where we were standing there based on like, man, I know the Dolphins aren't going to draft him, but man, I would love it if they did. And we're sitting there, and sure enough, the pick right before us, goddamn Steelers.
And they nabbed him. I looked at it, and it was a good night so far tonight because you got Waddle already. We were like, all right,
Yeah.
this is good. This is solid. And then that happened.
Yeah, it was all right. That's it. I mean, ultimately, he's had a solid career. We took Jalen Phillips with our next pick. He's been hurt a lot, but he's had a solid career other than the injuries. So
it was worth it.
It equaled out.
And I think Najee will be better in LA than he was Pittsburgh. Again, situation. I don't think the situation was perfect for him in Pittsburgh. I think he's going into something a lot better in LA.
Yeah, with that offensive line, that system with Harbaugh, he's gonna.
I mean, you go behind Slater and Alt,
yeah, he'll do some damage.
Now we're looking at the Buccaneers. Of course, Chris Godwin, they retain him.
Sorry, go ahead.
What was that?
Go ahead. No, I can't believe the way the Buccaneers are maneuvering right now. It just blows my mind.
The Hassan Reddick thing.
The Hassan Reddick money, the Chris Godwin money, the keeping Levante David, it's great, and I get it. And Levante David has been a great piece for this organization for a long time. But it's kind of time here to pivot in a different direction. Chris
Godwin's what I'm starting to feel at Tampa Bay is 2020 was great, but it's not here anymore.
Yeah, I feel like they're trying to hold on to shit that isn't there.
A lot of teams do that. I mean, it took the Saints. It took the Saints until this year to really realize, all right, it's over. Nine's not here anymore. New England took a while.
Yeah.
I think for a couple of years after that, they were legitimately trying to compete for a playoff spot. I'm like, y'all, it's not there. Seattle. I think Seattle still thinks they have the 12th man.
Sometimes, yeah.
Wake up and smell the Starbucks coffee. It's not there anymore. They're gone. Sherm's in the booth. Cam Chancellor's retired. Earl Thomas is retired. It's done. Michael Bennett's gone.
Right.
It's done. It's over. Titans. The Titans, Dan Moore, Cody Barton. I like the Cody Barton deal.
Yeah.
He's solid. He's a solid linebacker.
Yeah.
Somebody the Dolphins probably could have used.
We'll see. We'll see what they do with linebacker too. I'm hoping Tyrell Dotson gets re-signed with Miami, but
that would be solid. I wouldn't be mad about that. And then they retained Sebastian Joseph Day. What a lovely day in Tennessee it is.
That's right. Question: Do you think? Because the rumor sounds like it might be possible Tennessee might not be willing to move out of 1 anymore. Do you think they move out of 1?
I think it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I think unless they are completely sold, unless they are completely sold on Cam Ward being their guy,
yeah,
I would trade it. It's not worth it for Abdul Carter because my mindset. Correct me. The Giants have number 3 overall, right?
Yep.
You swap 1 for 3, they're probably going to get Carter right there anyways. Because the Giants are going to move up for one thing. It's to get Cam Ward.
Yeah.
Which I think now's the right time. Especially, I think if they can sign a veteran, like I would not be upset on getting Rodgers on a rental if I'm the Giants. 1 year, you've got a guy in Dable who's on his last leg, a guy in Rodgers who's on his last leg. Like if this is the year where we're going to move off of Dable and Shane, like maybe this is. I'd rather go through some turmoil with a veteran quarterback than I would a guy in a new situation like Cam Ward. Well, start year 2, new coaching staff, and it makes sense for Tennessee because you're going to get value for it,
right?
Right. I mean, you're still going to get the guy you want. Like I don't think in any situation. I think there's a reason for Cleveland to take Abdul Carter. Like it just makes more sense than to get Travis Hunter right now.
I think I don't know. I feel like Cleveland has to go quarterback. They probably I don't know. They might not, but I feel like they have to. I think Tennessee.
How are they gonna develop them? I mean that's because whoever it is, pretty certain at this point. Cam Ward's going number 1 overall. It's either going to be to Tennessee or the Giants.
Yeah,
I don't see Abdul Carter going number 1. I think Abdul Carter is the best player in the draft, but I don't think he'll go number 1.
Yeah,
I think there's teams out there that need Cam Ward, and whether it's I haven't heard. I mean, I don't think the Titans are in love with Will Levis, but I don't think that they're trying to ship him out the door either. I think that they're. I think they're still kind of assessing what they had because he's still better than Anthony Richardson. I mean, okay.
Well, to me, like Tennessee, like if you're Tennessee, at the end of the day, it's one of those things where I would keep drafting quarterback until you finally hit. Because at the end of the day, a lot of it doesn't matter until you get that piece. And when was the last time Tennessee had a quarterback where you're like, man?
McNair.
Yeah.
Steve McNair.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was sorry.
Right. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. I mean, it's you're not tied to Will Levis. There's no extension. It's a rookie contract. Ship him off, and he can be a backup somewhere else, and get value for him.
You know how to get the best out of guys? Competition. If you want to get the best out of Will Levis, you want to put a fire under his ass? Go get Cam Ward and then see what happens.
Which you know what? I like to think things through. The way he presented to me, I think it's a compelling point. I do think I don't think Will Levis is good enough to be in a spot where he knows that he's going into the year.
No, not at all.
And just the way I can tell by the way he's wired, like he's disciplined, he's a good player. But I think he's somebody who needs a little extra fire. Like I don't think that there's enough in there. Like there's just guys out there like Jalen Hurts or Lamar Jackson, where like there may be people doubting you when you go into the league, but man, you're gonna do everything you can to prove them motherfuckers wrong, and that's right. and that's your mentality every day. You're even Tua, like Tua's a fighter. I don't know what shit Ray says about Tua. Like Tua's a fighter.
Yeah.
I don't see that in Will Levis.
No.
But I mean, he's a bad player either. I don't think he's lazy. Like I don't think he's like a Johnny Manziel.
No,
I just
he's
think
not.
he's a
He's
little
not good
extra
enough.
bump.
You know, he's not good enough for you to sit in the war and be like, all right, there's no way we're taking quarterback at one. Like there's no way.
You're not that good.
Right.
Anthony Richardson, same thing. I think he needs a little juice there too. Like nothing should be guaranteed. Yep. So if you're Tennessee, that's the decision you have to wrestle with right now.
Yeah.
We're gonna be. I'll announce this at the end too. Right. We're gonna be going live for the draft too when that happens. So like this,
nice.
we will be covering all of this. But we're gonna wrap this up here with the Redskins.
All right.
Deebo Samuel, Laramie Tunsil. I mean, God, this is a long list. They kept Bobby. They kept Zach Ertz. They kept Tress Way. That's the way.
He's been there forever.
I know. It's been decades. And they signed Javon Kinlaw, which I thought was solid.
Good, but they paid a lot.
The contract, $15 million a year, is steep, but I like Javon Kinlaw. I think I think he's really physical.
He's a Gamecock. He's an SEC guy.
That's right, baby. Go Cox.
I like Javon Kinlaw. He's another guy. Banged up a lot in San Fran. Got to the Jets. Was solid, but that's a lot of money. But I get it. I mean, they lose Jonathan Allen, right? You got to put somebody in the middle. If I'm the Commanders, I say hell, go get Jair Alexander at corner. You pair him with Lattimore, you'll be all right back there. They're adding some good pieces. They could do some things.
Oh yeah, and defense, as we know, for the Redskins these past couple of years, it's been a liability. I mean, even the NFC Championship this year, like it was. I mean, the Lions they outscore the Lions, and I think that kind of distracts us from the fact of how that defense played because Detroit was not on their shit that night. I'm sorry, they were not on their shit that night, and they still produced a lot. Like if Detroit was playing Philly that night, that would have been probably 45-10. That's how shaky Detroit was.
Yeah.
But Washington's defense was so lackadaisical that they still managed to make something of it. And then Philly, like Philly was that kind of game where you watch Washington, you're like, all right, this has been fun to watch. This is a cool run, but like these guys got some work to do on the defensive side of the ball. If they really want to belong in this game, they've got to do something.
100%.
We've got this isn't breaking news, but it's a report here from Jordan Schultz. The Patriots want to trade Joe Milton.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Teams have been calling them about him for a while. Everybody's his arm. Oh my God, he's not very accurate.
You know who else people said that about?
The
guy we were just talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Will Levis.
Mm-hmm.
The arm, the golden arm. And Anthony Richardson, which he has it. What the fuck does he do with it?
Yeah.
I don't care. You get football IQ, leadership, EQ. Those are things that are going to win for you. I don't really care how strong your arm is. But that's pretty much that is free agency today. We've been on this thing for an hour and a half.
That's right.
And I'll be honest with you, I haven't had dinner yet. I had car troubles today, and so I just got back here by the skin of my teeth. It was God's will to be on this tonight, and I was happy to shoot the shit about free agencies. Nobody better in the business to talk to than Mr. Zeke about this.
That's right. I'm the guy.
He brings the hammer.
That's right.
And I want to use this moment to announce that we will be going live for the draft, and in late April. Whole 3.5-4 hour coverage will probably be our longest show ever. But
they drag that out.
It's going to be. I mean, we're going to be on this bitch till probably 10:30, 11 my time.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be a long night, but it's going to be worth it. I'm gonna order me a Domino's. Oh, this thing I always order the Domino's pizza and the breadsticks. I'm gonna have the 2-liter soda sitting right there, and we're gonna grind through this.
There you go.
But there's gonna be a lot of dominoes to fall until then, and I'm gonna have a mock draft coming up once March Madness ends.
Ooh,
But
okay.
yeah, I'm gonna do first round, first 32.
Gotcha.
But then we're gonna have Zeke back on for the draft, and it's gonna be a damn good time.
That's right. Always a pleasure, B.
Well, hey, thanks for hopping on tonight. I appreciate it, and
Sure.
we'll be keeping you tuned with whatever else is to come in free agency. Thank you all for watching. Have a good night.